the world's richest billionaires and their luxury toys. There's always talk about the planes and houses billionaires blow their money on, so we thought we'd give you a look at some of their more obscure and unique toys. A life-sized shark, Da Vinci's journal, and Hitler's Mercedes are just some of the things that get the world's wealthiest putting down their hard-earned or, in many cases, easily inherited cash. Do any of them own an ancient collectible? Let's find out. Welcome back to our channel. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the bell so that you get notified every time we upload a new video. Number 5, Elon Musk 007 submarine, $1 million. Billionaire tech entrepreneur and investor Elon Musk bought James Bond's iconic Lotus Esprit vehicle from The Spy Who Loved Me, with the intention of making its movie transformation from car to submarine a reality. The car was bought for close to $1 million at an auction in London, but the buyer's identity wasn't made public at the time. The vehicle had been lost since its appearance in the 1977 Bond movie, but was rediscovered in 1989 after someone in Long Island paid $100 for a storage container and found the vehicle, wheelless and dented, covered up by blankets. Described as Wet Nelly on set, the restored car had occasionally been exhibited at museums in the last 24 years before being offered for auction in September 2013. It works as a submarine but not as a car, as the auction listing explained. It moves forward via a bank of 4 propellers, with their electric motors being driven by batteries housed in a watertight compartment. The articulated fins are adjusted with mechanical levers that are operated by its driver. Underwater, the Lotus has a turning circle of around 20 feet. Its dive and climb performance are regulated by ballast tanks, and it has been described as crisply argonautic. Contrary to what movie magic suggests, there is no semblance of a road car interior in this Lotus. Instead, inside, one will find its underwater motors, batteries, levers, and other control apparatus, with only a platform seat for its driver. The car was thought to have cost more than $100,000 to build in the 1970s. If Elon Musk can figure out how to make a fully transforming version now, its potential value will be considerably higher. Number 4, Richard Branson submarine, $1.2 million. Sir Richard Branson, the mogul whose reach already extends from music to mobile phones to air to space travel, added one more frontier to his portfolio: the sea. In 2010, Virgin Limited Edition, the luxury division of the Virgin Hotels Group, announced that the billionaire entrepreneur was purchasing a first-of-its-kind underwater airplane. Though the vessel moves through the water, not the air, the company that created it says it uses the same principles of flight through the air for underwater navigation, making it capable of undersea flight. The Aero submarine, Branson named the Necker Nymph, can dive to a depth of about 130 feet below the water surface. For guests who spend $88,000 to rent the high-end yacht for 1 week, the Necker Nymph can be hired out for an equally princely sum, $25,000 per week. Now, unlike conventional submarines that use ballast tanks to create the weight to sink, this new class of submarines uses downward pressure on the vessel's wings to fly to deeper depths. It is about 1/10 the weight of typical subs. Number 3, Steve Cohen, Damien Hirst's 14-foot shark, $8 million. When you run one of the world's most successful hedge funds, you can probably afford some pretty amazing stuff, so it makes sense that Stephen Cohen, with an estimated net worth of $10.3 billion, has a long list of incredible personal purchases. Cohen started SAC Capital in 1992 and became a Wall Street legend after his firm saw returns of 70% for 2 consecutive years. Cohen is known for his love of art, having spent lavish amounts on famous artwork. He also enjoys buying up real estate and owns several properties, each worth millions of dollars. While the rest of us, with a little bit of extra cash, may purchase a little goldfish, Steve Cohen has purchased a shark. Best of all, he got a discount. The big fish cost him only $8 million because it was beginning to deteriorate. It is an actual tiger shark preserved in formaldehyde in a vitrine, and this installation was commissioned by Charles Setacci. He was willing to pay for whatever artwork Hearst wanted to produce. The animal was caught by a commissioned fisherman in Hervey Bay in Queensland, and the artist desired to have a specimen big enough to eat you. What makes this object so peculiar and staggering is the fact that the animal is depleted from its natural surroundings, meaning that it's motionless, frozen, and preserved. Many people have never seen a shark except on television or at an aquarium, so the work practically allows the audience to see it in a safe surrounding and potentially face their abstracted fears. Number 2, Sultan of Brunei. Classic Rolls-Royce, $14 million. Even committed car collectors like Jay Leno and Chris Evans would have to concede defeat in the face of this insanely extensive car collection. While the exact number of cars in this impressive collection is unknown, experts are estimating it at between 3,000 and 6,000 luxury, concept, and vintage cars. The Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah has a net worth of about $20 billion and is one of the wealthiest royals in the world, according to Forbes. His car collection was once estimated to be around $5 billion. The Sultan's love of cars is so well known that some luxury car makers, such as Mercedes, have created one-of-a-kind cars for his collection, meaning there are cars in this collection that are found nowhere else on Earth. Among many, many other cars, the collection includes over 600 Rolls-Royces, 570 Mercedes-Benz, 450 Ferraris, 380 Bentleys, 200 BMWs, 170 Jaguars, and over 130 Koenigsegg sports cars. One of his standout purchases is the classic Rolls-Royce. Considered the most expensive Rolls-Royce, this $14 million car once belonged to His Highness Dharmendra Singh Lakiraj, the Thakuri Sahib and Lord of Rajgat City. The Sultan of Brunei purchased it at an auction for which the car was awarded a Guinness World Record for being the most expensive vehicle in the world that was ever sold during an auction. Created in 1934, the Star of India has a 6-cylinder V12 engine with an output of 120 HP. At one point, the richest man on the planet, worth as much as $40 billion, his exploits include reportedly facing Ferraris at midnight through Brunei's capital, commissioning a 1,788-room palace, and spending $20,000 on getting his hair cut. Bolkiah has commissioned his own private zoo, which has 30 Bengal tigers. The zoo contains falcons, flamingos, and cockatoos, which can play basketball, ride bicycles, sing, talk, and imitate other animals. That's precisely what you do if you have tons of money. Number 1, Bill Gates. Leonardo da Vinci Journal, $30.8 million. Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates is known to be an avid reader, and his home library is filled with rare books selected by a professional book dealer. In 1994, he purchased Leonardo da Vinci's Codex Leicester, a manuscript that dates back to the 16th century. He paid $30.8 million for the journal at auction, a price that made it the most expensive book ever sold. Written between the years of 1506 and 1510, the 72-page notebook provides a rare glimpse inside Da Vinci's mind, complete with sketches, diagrams, and early iterations of ideas. The Codex Leicester is just one of 30 scientific journals Da Vinci is believed to have authored, but many consider it the most important. The text is written in Da Vinci's famous mirror image style, meaning that the words are supposed to be read from right to left. The words are written in an antiquated version of Italian, which is translated on touchscreens situated around the exhibit. The Codex Leicester primarily focuses on Da Vinci's thoughts relating to water, tides, eddies, and dams, and the relationship between the moon, the earth, and the sun.